One floor underneath the main simulator, the injured men and women are taken inside of a medical room. The nurses and doctors attend to them. They examine their injuries by using x-rays. It extends from broken open heads, broken arms, and pieces of small debris lodged into their bodies. Standing outside, the Lieutenant Colonel Terasawa has her back against the wall beside the door. Her thoughts are clouded with feelings and impressions. The feeling of being a ruthless leader, a reckless person, and many others that she is not thinking of. Hey. Upon hearing her voice, she turns her head, seeing Akari stand beside the open door. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. You know that's not true. Really, I am. I just need a few minutes, that's all. Emmy, it wasn't your fault. You did the best you could. Terasawa turns her body to her. They got hurt under my watch. I was put in charge of this battalion, and this is what I get. We didn't know what was going to happen. It just happened out of nowhere. Emmy, everyone is worried. Not just for themselves, but for you. Hell, when we were coming over here, some of them were about to bitch at you. But they didn't. Because of one look. One look on your face that said it all. Disappointment. And I get it. But you know what? You're not the only one. Hayama is in the other room behind you breaking stuff. At that very moment, they hear a crash of plates and broken wood.
Son of a whore!
The two turns, seeing a glass cup fly out and breaking against the wall. That's intense. Yeah, it is. But strangely, he's carrying the anger that I feel. Look, a lot of us are really worried about you. At least go and see them. Emilia covers her head, covering her eyes, blocking the shame. I can't. With shame overwhelming her, she turns and begins to walk away.
Terasawa!
She stops in her tracks and veers back around. The Lieutenant General stops beside Kujo, who she salutes, with his hands behind his back. Kujo, give us a minute. Another crash of glass plates follows the outburst of anger. And can you please calm Hayama down? We need those plates for dinner. Right. She runs ahead, past her friend. A plate nearly hits her as she comes into view.
Whoa! Calm down! You almost hit me there!
She enters the room, closing the door behind her. Now, it is only Terasawa and Takada alone in the hallway. Why the long face? I failed them, sir. I felt like I was leading them to their deaths. How can I be a leader if I don't take in what is going to happen? I guess I'm not cut out to be a leader. You could have just picked someone else. I didn't. Her face brightens up a little and she lifts her head. Her eyes locks with his. I've been observing you since we began training. At some point, you decided to step up and encourage everyone to keep going. It was at that moment you started to develop the capabilities of being a leader. And it was evident by what I and the others saw in the simulator. You were watching us the whole time? Not just me, but the actual general of the AMF, Shinsuke Shindo. And do you know how much you have to be a great leader to remind him of his father? A lot. And he's a stubborn bastard. Thank you, sir. But I know. What happened to the others was unfortunate. And you're right for taking responsibility. But there's one thing that you need to make sure of. And as heartless as this may sound, is the truth. When you are a leader of a squad, platoon, division, or an entire army group, it is expected to see casualties and wounded. Sure, it's right to care for the men and women in your ranks, but when they are taken out of action, you have to move forward. You can't let the losses get to you, otherwise you lose focus. The best thing that you can do is to learn from it. Make sure that necessary measures are in place to make sure that it doesn't happen again. Okay? What the officer says is indeed heartless, but throughout history, generals and admirals have to keep going despite the losses and regardless of what goes on in a battle or conflict. Terasawa takes in a deep breath. Yes, sir. All right. Now, there's another thing I wanted to tell you. He takes out something from his holster. He hands her a pistol, red in color. She takes it and holds it in her hands. What's this? A flare gun. The last test involves a Category 5 Titan, and as you know from your history, those things are hard to take down. What kind of Titan are we facing? I can't tell you. Damn it. But you'll know what to do when you see it. The last exercise resumes in 30 minutes. The man turns around and walks away from her. She looks down at the flare gun in her hands. She clenches it, now fueled with determination. I won't let you down. I won't let all of you down. 9:05 a.m. The troops has returned to the simulator. Amelia and the other captains has one flare gun with one purple flare for each. Within the command center, the staff, along with the Sagusas and the two generals, are watching on. Let's get this over with. Grid lines forms on the floor, walls, and ceiling. Buildings materializes, and the ceiling lights gives way. Hey, Emmy, you good? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just taking it in, that's all. Hey, don't rush it. It's going to be okay. Okay. All companies, we're dealing with a Category 5 Titan. Kurde, keep your tanks at a safe distance. All heavy infantry stand by for my instructions. Roger that. The simulator finishes. The training battalion stands within the city. But something feels strange. Some of the clothes on the civilians are different than the ones they are very used to. Hey, some of them are wearing suits and yukatas. Yeah, we're seeing them too. It looks very Showa. Now that you mention it, we're near what looks to be Tokyo Bay. You're going to be facing against the Titan, as you are aware. But you are going into a scenario where there are no alarms, and your job is to prevent casualties. Good luck. Wait, hold on. What are we facing? The ground rumbles. Then it rumbles again. They look around to see where it is coming from. A roar blares into their ears. A shiver drives down their spines as most recognize it right away. No! No! A foot crashes onto a building, crushing it from top to bottom. The soldier spots it. No, him. The reaction is horror and shock. The Category 5 Titan, Godzilla I, arches his head up and roars. Ito places his hands on his head.
Are you kidding me?
Terasawa, without a second thought, aims her flare gun upwards. She pulls the trigger. The purple flare shoots out. The others follow suit, allowing the civilians to see them and immediately know what to do.
Everyone get a hold of yourselves. Watanabe, Oda, get the civilians to the shelters. Kurde, try and buy them some time.
The kaiju walks forward. His footsteps makes those who are close to him hard to stand up straight. At a distance of 520 yards, 475 meters, to his left, Kurde's Type 90, Sergeant Isobe's Type 74 aims. Then they fire. The KPM Sables hits his left hip, causing the beast to stop. Godzilla turns his attention to the tanks that are continuing to shoot him. His dorsal fins glows blue. Anyone who knows any of the three Godzillas in history knows what that means.
Driver, reverse!
The tanks reverses in two directions. The atomic breath fires from Godzilla's mouth. The blast misses both vehicles, but the explosive aftermath catches them. The explosions lifts both tanks off of their tracks. The vehicles flips and crashes onto the turrets. Inside, the crew's body smacks against the walls of the interior, then everything calms.
Kurde! We're alive, but we got hit pretty bad. Minnow! We're okay, but the blast knocked down our driver, and Shimizu is injured. All tanks, keep your distance. Move when the target is about to fire.
3 Type 90s behind Godzilla I fires from a range of 300 yards, 274 meters. The projectiles hits its back, but they barely penetrate its hide, even from behind.
The target is hit, but he keeps regenerating!
Terasawa, any ideas?
The tank reverses in two directions as the beast rushes to them. Getting close to them, he falls to his hands and swings his right. The hand smashes onto the ground, then scrapes up the concrete. A Type 90 gets caught and skids to its right. The vehicle crashes into a building. The structure collapses on top of it. The crew inside holds on to anything to save them. Godzilla's attention turns to the two tanks still fleeing. His tail lifts, then crashes back down. The impact launches both tanks off the ground and lands on the side where the treads broke off. He stands to his feet. He veers north and walks ahead. The soldiers are still guiding civilians into the shelters. Their attention turns to the approaching Titan. They urgently rushes people down further and further.
Amelia? I'm thinking, damn it! Can't we just kill him from the inside? Oh, sure, if he wasn't moving too much. There's gotta be a way to get him away from them.
She turns her body away, not letting her friends see her face. Her eyes opens, spotting the wide seas of Tokyo Bay. Suddenly, her eyes catches something. 3 civilian boats are moored near the dock. She turns back to Godzilla, then back to the boats. Then, it hits her. I just got a stupid idea. Huh?
Ito, Hayama, how many rockets do you have?
1. I got one left too. What are you thinking of?
Wait, you're not seriously going to... Second, third, hold your fire. First tank and fourth company, see if you can get him there at the bay. Wait, what? What the hell are you doing? Just trust me. All remaining tanks, you heard the woman, hamper Tokyo Bay and support fifth company.
What the hell are they doing? Thinking outside of the box. The 10 remaining tanks races across the streets. Terasawa and her company rushes to the docks. They get to the boats and Ito unties the ropes. The crew within the Flip Type 90 climbs out of the hatch under the tank. They hear the roars of Godzilla as he continues his reign of destruction.
That was harder than I thought. Is everyone okay?
Yeah, we're fine. Where are the others?
Attention, those who have any force in Panzerfaust, do not open fire. We need to get this thing into Tokyo Bay and away from the city. What the hell? What is she thinking? All tanks, where are you? We're getting in the bay now.
The 90s and 74s approaches the shorelines next to the bay.
Ma'am, we're in position. We're in position as well. Say no word. Commence!
The 84s and Panzerfaust fires. The rockets hit the side of Godzilla. Immediately, they duck into cover when he turns his head. He finds no one who shot him. He turns his head forward once more, only for sables impacting his face and neck. Frustrated, he looks back again. Using the buildings as cover, the tanks remains out of sight. He veers his body away from the humans and soldiers in front of him and walks ahead away from them. Oh yeah, we got his attention. Right.
Hayama, Ito, we're on it.
They climb down and enters one of the untied boats. Terasawa and Kujo goes with them.
Wait, why are you coming with us?
A lieutenant colonel should be with his or her troops, right? I'm no different. Kujo, you're driving. Back on land, Privates Tomoyuki Kishi, Momo Osada, and Yoshino Ungino aims their Panzerfaust. They patiently wait for the kaiju to get closer. Their nerves are kept under control, and they do not flinch. In the bay, the single boat finally gets underway. Godzilla's foot comes into view of the foot soldiers. The 3 pulls the trigger one after the other. The projectiles hit and makes little damage as predicted. He spots the fleeing soldiers and his fins becomes aglow. The Type 90s and 74s veers out of cover, fires, and retreats back into it. The sables of both 105 and 120mm hits the side of his face, grabbing his attention again. He turns his head at the buildings in front of him and opens his mouth.
Now, say cheese!
Ito fires his recoilless rifle. At the range of 1,075 yards, 983.36 meters, the rocket hits his legs, interrupting his attack. The glow disappears. His eyes catches the single boat getting further and further away from the shore.
That's right, you son of a bitch. Come on.
The Titan roars. He runs forward. His back glows once more. He inhales.
To the right!
The atomic breath fires. It misses the boat as it turns hard to the right. But as it does, Hayama, despite the maneuvers of the vessel to the blast hitting the water, pulls the trigger and the rocket fires from the 84RR. The projectile hits the stomach, causing him to stop firing. Holy sh**. Godzilla roars. He makes pace towards the bay. His foot enters the water, followed by the right. He leans forward and his entire body enters the waters of the bay.
It's actually working! Kujo, step on it!
The motor of the boat propels the vessel up to 30 knots, and Godzilla the First swims to them at 32 knots.
Come on, you piece of sh**! Keep going!
Further and further the humans drives away in the water, with the large 115-meter beast following. Ito and Terasawa look behind them. They see Godzilla getting closer and closer.
Just a little closer!
Within the emergency room, the injured watches on in anticipation, but worried of what the outcome would be. Godzilla lunges himself out of the water like a whale. His body splashes back down beside the boat, creating a wave in the process. The soldiers are rocked from the vessel into the water. They quickly swim up and resurfaces. Immediately, they see the kaiju standing upright, using his tail and feet to keep him afloat. The dorsal fins glows, and his mouth reveals the blue inferno from within. The soldiers embrace us for what is to come. The kaiju suddenly disappears. The grids flows on the water and ground. The spacious land and sea gives way to steel, concrete, and ceiling lights. All of the soldiers looks around, confused. What just happened?
How am I still wet?
What the hell happened? I don't know.
Lieutenant General, what's going on?
It's simple. It's done.
What do you mean, it's done?
Your goal was to guide the civilians to the shelters. Believe it or not, you were seconds away from failing. But not only did you manage to secure their safety, but you managed to drag that kaiju away from the city into the bay. Kudos to Terasawa for that improv. And let me just say this. I haven't seen this much determination, coordination, and execution since my days in training. You did well.
Wait, so does that mean...
Yes, ma'am. You've completed your training program.
Shock overwhelms them, but it is taken over by joy.
We did it! Hell and yes!
Kujo and Ito hugs, but immediately stops when the former blushes. Mino and Kobishikawa high fives. Within the command center, the staff and officers looks on at the monitors as the soldiers celebrate their accomplishment. You know, they've impressed me, especially Terasawa. The kaiju detector goes off. Sir, Godzilla III is on the move. Speed and direction. 40 knots and heading for 160 kilometers off Sendai. And we're detecting another kaiju in that spot. Any available submarines in that area? Only the Soryu and the Motoshio, sir. Identify that second kaiju. Category 4 Colossus, Titanosaurus. And it's currently 128 kilometers from Sendai. It's heading straight for it. Send out an alert to the Sendai District HQ.
Yes, sir.
What about the recruits, sir? Shindo turns his attention back to the main screen. He sees the troops in the simulator continuing to celebrate. He smiles. Let them rest. Let them rest.
Company, march!
The in-sync marching of feet is steady. The AMF soldiers in winter dress uniforms walks forward. One by one, they march in front of the massive stage and podium.
Halt!
The men and women stops in place.
Left, turn!
Their eyes faces forward and their body stays still.
At ease!
Their feet spreads to 2 feet. Their hands are behind their backs, one over the other, with their thumbs interlaced together. A crowd of families, filled with proud feelings within them, watches on as their children, grandchildren, brother, and sister become so professional. Even the soldiers, who are still injured, are standing amongst their colleagues.
9 months ago, you came into this camp as recruits. You didn't know what was going to happen,
nor did you expect anything to come out of it. At first, you were struggling, but all of you have shown, through great leadership and determination, to succeed any expectation and overcome the odds that faced against you. During the final stages of your training, your skills were put to the test, and not only have you succeeded, but you managed to even surprise the Supreme General himself. He sends you his gratitude. However, there is something else that he would like to tell you. Though your training is over, the real test has begun. Some of the tactics that you have created will not perform well in real combat. What all of you saw was a mere taste of kaiju warfare. Whatever comes your way, be ready. And all of you are wondering which unit you will be sent to. That will be delivered to you personally. For now, celebrate. Good luck to you all.
The soldier's feet comes together. The left arm rests on the side and salutes with their right. 6:30 p.m. Our going away party is underway. Family members takes photos next to their sons, daughters, and grandchildren.
All right, smile.
The picture is taken. He and Chiaki look at it. Their daughter Amelia was smiling in front of a Type 90.
Oh, we're so proud of you. We're very sorry for doubting you.
Dad, it's fine. You don't have to apologize. Just remember, don't forget about us, okay?
You're becoming your own woman now. Be careful, sweetheart.
I will.
Yo, Emmy!
She turns to her friends and rushes over to them. What's up? We've been given a place in unit.
All three of us?
Yep, the 17th Armored Battalion in Shinjuku.
Holy crap.
What about you, Hayama? The 22nd Tank Brigade. All the way down in Kagoshima. Oof. Sorry, dude. You know what? At least Watanabe and Nakanishi are coming with me. Isn't that right? Okay, no need for you to sound like a smartass. At least it's not a terrible loss. Oh, that reminds me. He extends his hand to her. Thank you. Without you, we wouldn't be here right now. She smiles and shakes his hand. Hey, I wasn't the only one who helped out. Yeah, she isn't. Doi nudges her on the shoulder.
You crazy woman. Man, my heart was racing when all that went down. You have no idea.
My driver's playing a hand. I'm surprised Watanabe didn't shit himself.
Hey!
Others discuss their experience and memories with each other and to others. From a good distance, Kenichiro and Chiaki watch us on. You know, I'm really glad that we allowed her to join. Maybe this can work out after all.